What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Trader Shop. My name is Jay Seals, and I'm going to be doing my daily recaps, even though I haven't been doing them every day, but a recap of my trading day. If you guys watched the last video, I said I'd be changing some things up. I was struggling a little bit, and I just wanted to focus more on the trading setups than the P&L. And today I took some really good trades, and I had some losses, some that didn't work out, but I had some really good setups that turned out really, really well in my favor. And then also, I'm going to be doing a little bit of a deeper dive into what my confirmations were to take the trades. I haven't really got deep into that with these reviews, but I think it's about time that I kind of show you guys how I'm seeing the market and also Bookmap for my confirmations. So let's get right into it. So the first trade that I took on the day came on NQ. The reason why I took this trade was because the band was like right below us. It was like in this level right here where I was looking for a bounce. NQ had sold off pretty aggressively, and we were starting to find some buyers coming up out of here. So my plan for the trade was to take a very, very quick scalp. I wasn't looking for too much. If we go to the 5-minute chart, what you'll see is as we were coming down, we were creating really nice structure. We had a drop, a base, and a drop, and then we based again and we dropped again. So my plan was to go ahead and use this basing candle as my supply zone from a 5-minute, and then look to target this area right here for the longs. And I was right with my thesis, just wrong with my timing. So as you can see on my executions on the 1-minute, what ended up happening was we came down and then we found buyers, we shot down first, we found buyers coming up, and then we pulled back into this area. And I said, okay, if we look like we're going to start to buy up, then I will look to get long. So I got long at 20,048 as we started to push out. And then we immediately slammed down and we stopped me out for a small loss. And if you look at the tape, you can kind of see why I took the trade long. Okay, so what you guys are seeing now is my Bookmap screen. This is what I use to confirm all my trades. I'm looking at, the volume. I'm looking at the bubbles. You might hear people joke about the bubbles, but this is what I'm looking at. If you want more information about Bookmap, I actually have a whole video tutorial that I made on Bookmap, so I'll put that in the cards. But what I was looking at here was as we were coming down into this level, we filled some liquidity, and then we had some liquidity below us. That's what this heat map is showing, is the liquidity. It's showing the passive buyers that are sitting down here. So because we filled some liquidity and we started to bounce, I was okay with taking it long as we could put in a higher low coming back down. And then on top of that, we kind of had the support area right here where the market bounced and then we reclaimed. So I was looking for that kind of general area to hold as well. So as we were coming back down, what I was seeing less and less selling, and you can see kind of the bubbles get smaller and smaller, and you can see in the little box, this little gray box, the volume at the very bottom, you can see there's only two. So there's only like 2 transactions here, 1 transaction here, 1 transaction here. So I could see the buying or the selling starting to kind of dry up. And then next thing you know, we got a large buyer that came in. And then as the market was rallying up, I got in long, looking for this thing to push out. But what ended up happening was that we pushed out and then came back down, and I got stopped out once we broke the low. We filled this liquidity and then we rallied up higher, but I got stopped out and I wasn't really looking to re-enter. And then also at that point, I switched back over to ES. And the funny thing is, if you look at ES here, what you'll see is that we actually didn't ever break that low there. So had I taken the same long on ES here with my stop below the low, I would have been able to ride it all the way up. And the good thing about where my exit was on NQ, just flipping back real fast, is that my exit was literally the top. So I was looking to get out right at the top before we ended up reversing and coming back down. But I don't know, maybe it was the blessing in disguise that I got stopped out of that initial trade, because the shorts played out much better. As you can see on the MES, I actually ended up catching those shorts. So we were starting to struggle here at this level. I really didn't have any levels up here besides this high that was kind of acting as resistance. The 662, 5662 to 5663 area had acted as resistance in the overnight session. So when we came back up here and I started to see that failure, and I noted that this area right here with all these wicks, that the market was having a hard time breaking this area. So I didn't want to just hop in short because the market might have wanted to hold this. But when we broke it, I said, okay, we broke this level. Let me go ahead and draw my 50% fib retracement from the high to low here. And let's see if we come back and retest it. And we came right back up to this area. I started to notice the buyers starting to struggle to move price higher. So I got in at 58.75. So like right at the top of this candle. And then the market started to come down pretty aggressively. We had one attempt to go higher and then a complete failure. And I'll show you guys what that looked like on the tape, because that actually gave me extra confidence to hold through this trade. But as we came down, I ended up taking profit. Basically, when we broke this low and we started kind of pop back up, I took 3 contracts off there, and that was about a 15-point move-ish or so. And then as we came down, I held my last runners to my ultimate profit target, which was 59 or 56.29.50 is where I got those last 2 contracts filled. So all in all, it was about a I think it was like a 29-ish point or 28-point move that I caught on ES, which is a massive move. And I was only risking like 3 points. Like if I go ahead and I put my risk reward tool, and this is what I'm most happy about, right? For my entry where I got in, let's see, 58.75, so 1 tick higher. I was only risking 3 points from the high. My first profit target was 56, or the first cut that I made was 56.43.50. So 56.43.50. So that was 15 points. So that's a 5-to-1 trade right there. And then my last cut of the trade came all the way down here at 56.29.50. So 29.5 points, and that was a 9-to-1 trade. So super, super happy with the risk to reward, really happy with the execution and how I managed that trade. It was perfect. I couldn't have asked for a better management for the trade. But let me show you guys Bookmap and how I got the confirmation and kind of that like extra icing on the cake. What I was looking at was I was looking at this struggle here. Every time we came down and we came back up, we kept holding this level, like I was saying, this 56 area kept holding. So once we were finally able to break below it, then I was just waiting on the retest and I was looking for the failure. And what ended up happening was I spotted these small buying bubbles up here. And once I saw that and we started to sell down, I took the market short when the market was at 58.75, because I knew my risk would be pretty low. And I even could have risked just this high and had an even better risk reward. But I felt like the ultimate high would be the best area to look to take the market short. So as the market started to sell down aggressively again, when we pop back up, this order right here, you can see this red heat map. If I scroll back over, you can see they threw 736 orders to try to stop price from going up higher. And when I saw that, I said, okay, either we're going to come back up and fill these and we're going to move lower, or we could move up and I'll be stopped out. I'm just wrong. Or they're trying to protect these highs. So let me see what happens. And then we started to come down even lower. And I said, okay, awesome. They clearly are trying to protect this. And as we moved down lower, they took those orders off. So I said, all right, cool. We continue to move down. And then as we broke this area, they then threw another 600 orders to try to stop price again as we were breaking this low. So I took some of my profit out, but I knew that I'd be pretty safe because of these orders here. And then the market came back up and then came down, eventually hitting my profit target. And yeah, I was super happy with this trade, how I managed it and everything. I did take one more trade on the day. And this trade is something that I can definitely take away a pretty big learning lesson. Okay, so this was my last trade on the day. It was a loss, but this loss is something that I can 100% learn from, because honestly, my directional bias was correct as far as what I was saying, but I didn't act in accordance to what I was saying, if that makes sense. So obviously you guys saw the last trade where I completely dog walked the market all the way down to these lows. And then we started to bounce up, right? And the mistake that I made was I was talking very, very bearish, but because we had already rallied up, I was more bullish in this case, and I shouldn't have been. I should have stayed on the bear side, because in all honesty, when you look at these swings, and sometimes I make this mistake, and something that I have to get out of is this right here was our swing high up here, and this was our swing low, right? So as long as the market doesn't break this high, then we're still bearish, and I should view everything coming up as a retracement to potentially go lower, right? And I had the confirmations to take this trade short and to completely destroy this trade for like another 40 points, but I fumbled the bag, and I'm going to show you guys why. So right here, this low, the low that I was looking for the market to break in the first place, I should have been looking for this to act as resistance. And the reason why is because once we broke under it, if I draw a horizontal line, you can see that we actually retested this area perfectly. So this was support that I should have been looking to turn into resistance. On top of that, if we just come back over here, you can kind of see this whole area was once support that now should be acting as resistance, right? So that was number one reason why I should have been looking to short the market. Reason number two was based off of the tape, which I will show you guys in a second. But what I was looking at really was I was looking for the 50% of this area to hold. So I had drawn a 50% fib from here to about, I believe it was like here. And I was looking for this kind of area to hold itself. And it did not. Not to mention the fact that we kind of had this rally-based rally here that I was looking to hold this area as well. But we just never got it, right? So that was kind of a mistake on my part, which is fine. You just have to learn from them. But on the tape, let me go over to that. So on the tape, the reason why I was looking to be more bullish than bearish was just because as we were coming back down into this area, I was kind of looking for this double bottom to hold and to retest this this neckline here. And I saw this liquidity down here. And then I saw kind of a lack of selling because we sold and we immediately popped up. So that's why I decided to get long once I saw this pop up. But the main thing that I missed was one, I didn't miss it because I had it. So we had this consolidation here, right? And this consolidation basically turned into a support area. It was almost like a reverse demand zone. It's like it's almost like the inverse fair value gaps, but now it's like demand that got broken should be acting as supply. So that was number one. But then number two, we also had this order right here that I talked about earlier that was basically set there to scare the market, right? There was 571 orders sitting here basically waiting to be filled or to act like a ceiling for price, right? So as you can see, when I got closer, we came up and we came right up into this box, and then we immediately rejected down. And so this was the reason why I should have been looking to get short here. I had everything I needed to short the market, but I just kind of ignored it. I had area, I had confirmations on the tape. Structure was all on the side to continue this downtrend short. And, I made a mistake, but it's all good because I can sit back and learn from it and say, okay, you messed up this time. You took a really small loss. It was only like, I don't know, like a 2-point loss or something like that. Or 3-point loss in the trade. So it's not the end of the world, but going back and just reviewing that trade, and the reason why I lost it is, more important, because if I hadn't taken the trade, then there'd be nothing to learn from. And, that's probably my biggest mindset shift moving forward is taking losses, just learn from them, right? If you keep your loss small, then it can't really hurt you. And if you take something away from that loss, then it's a win in my book, right? So I just learned something, and now the goal is just not to make that mistake again, right? Stay with the trend, don't fight it, and try to find areas that will move you along with the trend of the market. So that's all I got for this one. Hopefully you guys found value from it. If you like these type of videos, please make sure that you hit the like and subscribe button because I'm going to be coming out with a lot more. But I will catch you guys on the next recap. Peace.